All right, today we are diving into a really weird internet mystery. Imagine this, a social media star posting from way out in Western China suddenly has their location pop up 1,500 kilometers away in the massive city of Chongqing. It's like a digital ghost story, a classic whodunit, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. So yeah, just try to wrap your head around that. You're supposedly in one place, posting your content, but your digital footprint, your IP address, says you're clear across the country. I mean, what's going on here? Is it some kind of crazy tech glitch? A massive bug in the platform? Or is there something way simpler and maybe more human behind this digital ghost? That's the puzzle we're here to solve. And listen, this wasn't just a one-off thing, not some random glitch. It happened not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. And here's where it gets really interesting. The official story for why it happened, it kept changing. First, they blamed it on a platform review. Then, later on, the story shifted to a problem with portable Wi-Fi. You know, when the story keeps changing, that right there is your first big clue that something's up. Okay, so let's start digging into the evidence. Suspect number 1, the glitching Wi-Fi. The official claim was that this little portable Wi-Fi device was the culprit, that it was somehow making the IP address leap across entire provinces. It sounds kind of technical, right? But the real question is, does it actually hold any water? So, first things first, what even is a portable Wi-Fi device? You might have heard of them as MiFi. Basically, it's a little gadget, smaller than your phone. You pop a SIM card in it, and it creates your own personal Wi-Fi network. Kind of like the hotspot feature on your phone, but it's a separate device just for that. Well, here's where that whole theory just completely falls apart. The specific device they mentioned, this Gexing Wi-Fi thing, has some major catches. For one, the SIM card is built in. You can't take it out. And the special version sold for that region is locked to that region. So the idea that someone just popped in a SIM card from Chongqing, it's literally impossible. You physically cannot do it. Right away, this explanation is looking pretty shaky. But okay, let's just play devil's advocate for a second. Let's pretend you could somehow swap the SIM. It still begs the question, why on earth would a cell phone network send your internet connection on a 1,500-kilometer detour? From a pure networking standpoint, it just makes absolutely zero sense. Yeah, there are some really solid basic reasons why your phone's internet connection always tries to stay local. Number 1 is just efficiency. I mean, sending your data on a 3,000-kilometer round trip, that would be incredibly slow. Your videos would just buffer forever. It'd be unusable. Number 2 is resources. It's not like provinces are running out of IP addresses. They have millions and millions available. There's no need to borrow one from so far away. And finally, number 3, it's just how the networks are designed. Mobile carriers build their systems to be logical and geographical. It's all about keeping things local. You know, the source material had a perfect analogy for this that I just have to share. Thinking a network would borrow an IP address from another province, it's like running out of soy sauce, and instead of just walking to your corner store, you book a flight and fly 1,500 kilometers to Chongqing just to buy a new bottle. It's absurd. It's wildly inefficient, it's expensive, and it's totally pointless. And look, we don't even have to guess. The data backs this up completely. Take Qinghai, one of the regions involved. They have something like 10 million IP addresses available. At its absolute peak, usage has never even gotten to 4 million. So there is absolutely zero reason, technically speaking, to go borrow an IP address from Chongqing. Case closed on that one. The glitching Wi-Fi theory? It's officially debunked. All right, so if it wasn't the Wi-Fi, then what about that other excuse they gave at the beginning? Let's bring in our second suspect, the platform itself. The idea was that the social media company was changing the location tag while the video was under review. Let's see if that one holds up any better. Spoiler alert, this theory falls apart even faster than the first one. For starters, it's just not technically possible. When you upload a video, its IP address is basically baked in. It's locked to maintain data integrity. Second, and this is a big one, it's illegal. There are actual regulations that say platforms are not allowed to mess with user IP information. And third, you just have to ask, why? It's completely pointless. It gives the platform zero benefit. So the bottom line here is pretty simple. For a platform to go in and manually change a user's IP address, it would cost them money, it would give them absolutely no benefit, and it would break the law. Why would they ever do that? It's just crazy. So suspect number 2 is officially off the list. Okay, so we've looked at 2 really complicated and frankly unbelievable theories, and we've crossed both of them out. So what does that leave us with? Well, when you're dealing with a really confusing mystery like this, sometimes the best thing to do is just look for the simplest answer. And that brings us to a really cool little thinking tool. That tool is called Occam's razor. It's a simple but powerful idea that basically says, when you're faced with a bunch of competing explanations for something, the simplest one, the one that makes the fewest assumptions, is probably the right one. Let me give you a super simple example of how it works. Let's say you can't find your keys, right? The simple explanation is, I probably just left them at the office. That only requires one assumption, that you're a little forgetful. The complex explanation is, well, obviously, aliens teleported them to Mars to study our primitive lock technology. See, that one requires a whole bunch of really wild assumptions. Occam's razor tells us, you probably just forgot your keys.
So let's take that razor and apply it directly to our digital mystery here. We've got a few different stories trying to explain this jumping IP address. So the question is, which one is the simplest? Which one makes the fewest and most believable assumptions?
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. Explanation 1, the glitching Wi-Fi, that requires us to believe in a chain of nearly impossible technical failures that happened 3 times, vanishingly unlikely. Explanation 2, the platform review, that requires us to believe a huge company decided to break the law for absolutely no reason. That's just illogical. But then there's a third option, that there's a company in Chongqing and a person managing the accounts simply made a mistake. That only requires one assumption. Someone made a simple human error. Happens all the time. And just like that, Occam's razor cuts right through the noise and gives us our answer. The simplest and by far the most likely explanation is this. The social media personality has a team, a media company based in Chongqing. The IP address jumped because someone on that team, not the person in the video, uploaded the content and probably just forgot to switch accounts or use a VPN. It's not a technical glitch. It's not some grand conspiracy. It's just a simple human mistake. And really, it all boils down to this fantastic final thought. An IP address randomly jumping 1,500 kilometers, that's about as likely as winning the lottery 3 times in a row. It's basically impossible. Unless, of course, you were standing in the lottery office the whole time. And in this case, the lottery office was in Chongqing.